So today we're going to be looking at some of the basic things that you'll be requiring when working with LYT-SOFT point of sale. So the foundation of the entire software is regarding stock. So what we're going to be focusing on today is just creating a stock item and then how to edit the stock item and set properties within a stock item. So the screen that we'll be focusing on today is this tab, stock. So if everybody that's following along, please make sure you're on version 1.183 or later, else you might not find some of the features that we're going to be looking at today. So once we go into stock, we see this screen in front of us. So on the screen you'll see you've got edit stock and add a stock item. So the basic premises is if you want to create a new item, you'll click on add stock. If you want to change an existing product, you'll use the edit stock item. So once we click on add a stock item, we will open up this screen for us. So let's quickly have a look at the entire screen in front of us and what each section means. So the very first section that we need to look at is the code. So the code will be different for each and every one of you depending on the industry that you're in. If you're in the retail industry in terms of supermarkets or selling goods with barcodes, your code will be the barcode on the product. So an easy way to capture this is to utilize a scanner and just take the scanner and scan the actual product. So once that's scanned, it will know that this is the product code. If you are in the butchery industry, you need to, if this item is used on a scale, we're going to have to give it a 4-digit code. So the 4-digit code, let's say we wanted to allocate code 1 to it, it will be 0001. So 0001 to give us that code, or let's say product code 900 would be 0900. And that's how you set it if you're for a butchery. So as you saw, if a code has already been allocated in the system, it will immediately bring up the product for you. So there's never any risk of you overriding an existing product's information. So again, if we're in the retail industry, we scan the actual barcode if the product has a barcode. Otherwise, if we are in the butchery industry, we have to allocate a 4-digit code to the system. Or alternatively, if we're in the restaurant industry, we can allocate any reference to this product that we feel fit. So let's say, for instance, it is a cool drink, so we can say COL-01. That would be, for instance, cool drink 1. So we can allocate a product code that makes sense to us. Just note that for the restaurant industry, this product code is not that important as long as it's unique, as you very seldom use this actual product code. For the butchery, it's important what the product code is, as you'll be calling that on the scale as well. So if it's 0001, you'd press 1 PLU on your scale to bring up this product. And again, in the retail industry, it's extremely important when you scan a product that you have the correct barcode in here, so that it will be able to scan the product. So let's quickly, let's say if it was like that, we just need to make sure that it's scanned and that it's correct, that it's matching the actual barcode. Now we come to the description field. So this description, the description 1 up here, is the description that you utilize to describe the product to the customer. So in all the customer facing documents, for instance a invoice or a scale label would be another example, anywhere where the description is shown, or shelf labels, it will utilize this description. So make sure that this description is filled out correctly for a customer. So let's say, for instance, this product is Coca-Cola. Then we can say 500 ml if we want to show that on the receipt. So this will be shown on the receipt, and it will also be shown on the shelf label or on an item label if you produce an item label. Description number 2 talks about the description for this item internally. So any description that you want to utilize to describe this product within your company is description 2. So please make sure if there's another description that you need to add for this item, you put it here. This is mostly used by our customers that are not in the retail sector, or customers that are in spares or car parts and so forth. So this is some additional information that they can utilize to either find this product or to have a better understanding of this product. Note that this description 2 doesn't display anywhere on any customer facing documents or any documents regarding this item. It's only shown over here if the person, or in the search fields when this person wants to understand what exactly is in this product. To give you a basic concept of where this would be useful, when we use the software for our own internal use, we use description 2 to give some technical specifications on maybe computer componentry that our technicians will understand, but that's not necessary for the customer to see. So that's where you use description number 2. It's not a mandatory field, it's just an internal field for if you want to know something more about the product. Then we get to bin and shelf. So bin and shelf is actually a concept that's been around quite a while, and it's relating to your bigger retailers with a lot of shelf locations. So let's take ShopRite in Zambia as an example. ShopRite might have, let's call it about 20 aisles per store or 30 aisles per store, and in those aisles they'll then have bin locations, meaning which rack it's on. So imagine a guy receiving cornflakes, for instance, at the receiving counter. He might not know where these items should go in the store. So then you'll use the bin and shelf location to find the location and the position of those specific items. So again, if you're a smaller retailer, not something you should be concerned about, but definitely if you've got, let's say, 100 shelves or so, you can use this bin and shelf to explain to the guy that's packing the shelves which item should be going to which shelf location. Now we come on to manufacturer. Manufacturer is a very misunderstood concept within our software. It's often confused that you should put the supplier of the product in this location. That's not correct. This is a descriptive tag that is used to specify who manufactures this product. So we can take as an example, there's a company called AfriTrade in Zambia that distributes Coca-Cola products. So here you would still put Coca-Cola as the manufacturer, but the supplier will be Afri. Your supplier is maybe AfriTrade, but the manufacturer still remains Coca-Cola. Let's say you're running a shoe business and you buy shoes from a specific supplier. You might be buying Nikes and Reebok from them. And that's what you would put on as the manufacturer, even though the supplier is the same person. This manufacturer is the manufacturer of this item. So it will always, for instance, in this scenario, stay Coca-Cola, regardless of who you buy it from. And then we get to the supplier code. So a supplier code is a code that you find on a invoice from a supplier. So oftentimes you'll find that a supplier code is not the barcode of the product. They use different codes to identify the products on the invoices, and this allows you to put in their code for the product into the system, so that when you are GRVing, you can just call their code up for the product to find it. So it makes it easier for you to find this specific product that they are invoicing you for. So that would be a supplier code. Okay, then we get to departments. This is not a mandatory field, but one of the most powerful fields that you do get within the software. So departments, some people call it categories, it's the same thing. So departments helps you to arrange your your products in a manner for you to later utilize to gather more information from them. So let's say, for example, we want to see, we want to make this product maybe a drink. Let's see if we have a department here. Or for instance, let's say in a scenario like this, we might want to say that soft drinks and water, and then we can even create a sub-department for it to say soft drinks and then a separate one for water. And what this will do is it will break down your data for your sales and for other reports, but specifically for sales, to show you how much soft drinks and water the main department sold, but also its children department, how much they sold. So how much did soft drinks sell and how much did water sell. So another scenario where you can utilize this is, let's say we have a department that's called meats. Under meats we might have chicken, beef, lamb, pork, cold meats, and under chicken we might have our, let's say, bought pre-packed chicken. We can have chicken that we slaughter ourselves. And thus, when we pull a report on how the meat department did, it will be able to show us how much the slaughtered chicken meat did compared to the pre-packed, maybe purchased meats. So this is something that's individual to each and every company, how they want to do this departments. But this same department categorization is also what is used for all our restaurant customers. So if you're running a restaurant or a takeaway, you need to pay special attention to the categories or the departments, as this will be what you use to place the item within the touch screen menu. So we'll go into that example just now, but in this one we're just going to say soft drinks, and there's no sub department. If we wanted to add a sub department or a new department, we'll click here. Directly after we've finished this screen, we'll go into how to set up categories and departments. But just know this is where you allocate it to a specific product. Okay. Now, one of the things that we get asked the most about is reorder, and this is where you set up your reorder and your ideal level. You need to always think when you're doing reorders and ideal levels that you set it on the main product within any branch. So let's say Coca-Cola 500 ml might not be our main product because we receive it in cases. So there'll be a case item where we'll put our reorder on. We don't want to put it on this item, as this item will always be going down to 0 before it reopens another case, before it reopens another case. So we need to know that our reorder levels is on our main product. So for our butchery or restaurant customers, you can't put, for instance, let's say on a restaurant, you can't say that once my burgers are down to 0, I need to reorder. You need to go onto the cheese and say, once I've only got 2 slices of cheese left, I need to order again. Or once I've got 5 burger buns left, I need to reorder again. So don't put it on the item that you sell, because that might be 0. You need to put on the ingredients or the primary product that is used to produce this item. So again, let's take a steak, for example, a rump steak. We need to make sure that we don't put it on the rump steak that we sell to the customer, but that we put it on the raw rump steak that we buy from the supplier, so that when that reaches a certain level, it will force us to order again. Okay. Let's take a pizza place, for example. We can't put a reorder level on a Hawaiian pizza. We need to put our reorder level on the pineapple, on the cheese, on the wheat flour used to make the dough, on the oil used that we use in our dough. We need to put the reorder on those products, not on the Hawaiian pizza, as we're not going to be reordering. We don't buy Hawaiian pizza, we produce Hawaiian pizza. So make sure you put the reorder on the product that you purchase. not on the product that you're selling. For if you're in a supermarket, just make sure that you put it on the case, not on the single item. Okay, but once we've clearly identified that we have the right product here, we can put our reorder level, and it's pretty basic. We say once we reach 5 units, reorder. Then we'll ask us how many do we want to order. We say we want to order up to 15. So the moment we reach 5, it will then tell us to buy 10. So it's a pretty basic concept. The only thing that we need to remember is that we've identified the right product to be putting it on, and that we're not putting it on the wrong product. Okay. Then we get to the exclusive cost, and inclusive cost, and exclusive cost, and exclusive selling. So again, a pretty basic concept. I'm sure most of you are familiar with, but again, the cost is how much you are buying it at, and the selling price is how much you are retailing it for. So let's say we're buying it for 10 kwacha, inclusive of VAT, and we're retailing it for 15 kwacha, inclusive of VAT. So here you'll see there's what we call a margin calculator. So if you hover over it, it will give you a description of what that is. But your margin is a percentage that you add on top of cost to be able to calculate the selling price. So a margin of 50% on 10 kwacha will give us 15 kwacha. Because 50% of 10 kwacha is 5 kwacha, we add that on top of the cost price, and that gets us to 15 kwacha. But then we also get our GP calculation, which is a very misunderstood concept. So what GP talks about, and you might have to listen to this a few times if you haven't worked with GP before, is it works out what percentage of your sales price is profit. So I'm going to repeat that one more time. The GP works out what percentage of your selling price is profit. So if we take this example that we've got here, our profit out of this is 5 kwacha, because we pay 10 kwacha, we sell it for 15 kwacha, so we make a gross profit of 5 kwacha. Now if you take 5 kwacha, what percentage is 5 kwacha of 15 kwacha? And that is 33%. Okay, so I'm going to go through it again, as I know it's a thing that people often don't misunderstand. So let's look at it again. We've got an inclusive selling price of 15 kwacha. We've got a cost of 10 kwacha. So if we take this 15 kwacha, we minus 10 kwacha from that, means we make a profit of 5 kwacha. Now we're going to work out that 5 kwacha. What percentage is it of our total sales price? So 5 kwacha into 15 kwacha is a third. So 33% of this is money that we'll take home. So I hope that makes everybody understand a little bit. You can also Google the concept of GP as you go along. But what's nice about GP as opposed to margin is, let's say we run a 33% GP. We then know at the end of the day, if we turn over 100,000, 33% of that is our money that we're going to take home. So that's what makes GP a powerful metric. And as you'll notice throughout the software, our preferred metric. But we do have margin there to help the people that are used to margin and to see how to calculate their sales prices. So once we're done with our item, we can just press OK.